What's happening, everybody? Test. 1, 2, 3, 4. Test. Okay, here we go. Here, let me put up a little text. Give people time to get in. It's always best when you don't know what the hell you're going to talk about, right? Hey, Greg, Sherry, Millie, Quantum Love. Yeah, you know, somebody just told me it's the last 8-8, the third and final 8-8 of the Lionsgate. And we're approaching 11:11. Hi, Victoria. We're approaching 11:11 Central Time Zone, Houston, Texas, August 26th. Yeah, you know, we're going to start doing this daily show. I don't know if it's going to be every single day, but pretty much every day. Just for 20, 30 minutes. We'll see what happens. Don't really have a plan. Part of what we would do is kind of update on what's going on with Soulogy so people understand it, because I don't know that a lot of people, or enough people, really understand what we're doing. And so I just thought that, you know, every day I can come on and we'll just make it up as we go. You know, we talk a little bit about what's going on at Soulogy, talk about what's going on the earth. Maybe have some people come on, just do a little quick, you know, interview style phone call thing, music, videos, and do it on social media so that we can stay in touch with people as we do the vast majority of our programming on the SoulogyNetwork.com. So let me just let me kill this music. What's going on, Tiny? Eric Hypes, Layla, Dominique. So yeah, you know, not everybody really fully gets what we're doing at SoulogyNetwork.com, and that's okay. You know, it's not about making money. That's for damn sure, because I can tell you right now, today, there's $0 in the Soulogy Network. But that's nothing new, and that's nothing to worry about for myself or for anybody else. That's not how this new energy works. The new energy, which is our natural nature, which is a spontaneous, intuitive, creative, imaginative, and courageous atmosphere of being present, you don't have savings accounts. You don't have, you know, provisions for the winter, and, you know, everything is in the moment. Everything's created in the moment. Everything is that you need is in the moment. Everything that you ask for is presented in the moment. So, you know, SoulogyNetwork.com was something that was created a long, long time ago by many, many people in long before this incarnation. Many, many soul contracts, many soul reunifications were planned through this platform and this arc. So, like, you know, in the linear world, as we make this transition, then we can kind of explain to each other some things, you know, although telepathy is taking on a bigger and bigger role. So, March 1st, we were told to leave social media for, for the right reasons. We were told that the social media platforms are going to collapse, and that we needed to go out and build this ark. Let me see if I can fix that. Let's see, how does that work? This looks like a camera issue. I look like the guy in that movie, The Invisible Man. Let's see here. How's that? All right. Not that it really matters. It doesn't matter. Fuck it. But let me just fix the. There we go. Let me see if I can get another thing working here. Oh well. So what? Just the way it is. Let me try this because it's bugging me. Let's go here like that, and then go like that. Well, anyway, it's not getting any better. You just have to live with it. God, how strange. How strange is that? Let me fix this. It's funny, but everything has a purpose and a meaning, right? Everything is sending us a message. So here this guy is in a blue shirt faded into the background, and it's all blurry. Oh, maybe it's blurry because I got my fingers on it. Okay, so what I was getting at, we're just going to live with it. So what I was getting at was that, we were told, come over, create your own network, and get to work, and the like a lot of our guidance, the guidance will come to you as to what you're supposed to do. And so what's happened is we've had about 20 people step up and start to produce their own shows, and we got about 20 or 25 people that are interested in starting their own shows. So potentially we have 40 to 50 shows that people would like either have already started or they would like to get put out there, and we're going to support that. Obviously one man can't do it by himself, and several people have stepped up, and I think more and more people will step up to assist us. But let me just give you a little idea of kind of what the day looks like at Soulogy, and I think in conveying that to you, then you'll kind of pick up on what we're doing without having to have a thorough explanation, but actually seeing what we're doing, right? So let me just share the screen real quick, and let me go over here. Boom. So this is just an example. So this is today, this morning at 9:30 Eastern, we had the 6th episode of Seamless, which is something that was originated by Glennis Rowe. She had 4 or 5 collaborators with her today. It's a very interesting project. You can find out more about it through the Soulogy Network, and we'll talk about that in a minute, where you can get more information on these shows. But that was on today, and then of course the next one is the Soulogy Daily Show, and there's Glennis, and this is the show that you're watching now. And then after this, we're going to have the premiere of From Darkness to Light. This is a very interesting production that's been originated by our friend Adam Miller. It's an exploration of spiritual artists and addicts, and I think it's going to be very interesting. We're going to premiere this, and all premieres on the Soulogy Network we release on our social media platforms, so people can see what we're doing. So this one will be today in about 45 minutes. And then after that, we're going to have the second episode of Metaphysical Music and Conversation with Jill Woodworth and Gabrielle. This is really cool. They had their first episode on social media, I think last week or the week before. This one is going to be on the Soulogy Network, and we will be very soon releasing excerpts of all of our original programming into social media, all the different social media platforms. And then tonight we have another premiere, so that'll be on our social media platforms, and this is with our friend Mary Beckman, who's going through a pretty big life change right now, moving from one end of the country to the other, but she's going to have a show called Metaphysical Meltdown. So this just kind of gives you an idea of the diversity of, of the programming. Let me get back over here. And, and that it's an open forum. It's open for everybody. It's interesting because people have, different ideas and concepts of what oneness is and what unity consciousness is. And the reality is it's everything. As many people are finding out now, we're in a situation where the mirror is reflecting ourselves back to us, and we're finding out a lot of things about ourselves. It's the brutal honesty of the soul. It requires, or it's heading us towards a place of no judgment, 100% compassion for ourselves and each other. And so as part of that education that we're all learning here in this dualistic polarity, everything is relevant, everything is real, everything is the same thing. And regardless of how extreme the polarities and how distorted the duality seems, we are the same with everything. We're in a hell of a realm that's tested us or taught us more than any other realm, from what many people have picked up from their own intel, what I picked up from mine, and people like our friend and brother Franco. But nevertheless, we're all headed to the same place. It's inevitable. We cannot divorce ourselves from any aspect of the universe, which, whether we like it or not, or whether we want to believe it or not, we divorce ourselves, or we have, from aspects of the universe which are actually aspects of ourselves. So, there's been a lot go on, and there will be a lot more going on, but there is something happening on this earth, and that is that there are a group of people that look at themselves no better or no worse than anyone else, that happen to be connected in some cosmic way, in an ancient way, to source and to this earth. And many of us have memories, and many of us will have memories come in of this time and this space that we find ourselves in. It's a multiple mission and purpose-oriented type of memory thread, but it all leads to one place, and that's unity consciousness at a level it's never seen before, love at a level it's never seen before, and wisdom at a level it's never seen before, and oneness at a level it's never seen before. So make no mistake about it. We are all the same, and that includes every perpetrator, every victim, every murderer, every person murdered, every lover, every hater, every government, every religion, every concept, every idea, every atrocity, every beautiful thing. This is our steed. This is our objective, and in a universe that's never stagnant, that's always growing. There's never truly, as we, as the universe and as the soul gets to know itself better through these experiences, we're always in a flight of striving for perfection, a perfection that we always have, and at the same time experiencing the imperfection of which is the beauty of it all. Because if we were perfect all the time and stayed in that consciousness, I personally think it would get kind of boring, and I believe that's why we dip into these realms and these playgrounds and these universities, so that we can learn more about life and experience more life, and have a greater understanding of ourselves and expand our powers as creators. So it's a beautiful thing to be on the earth today. People can talk about all this bullshit, all this propaganda and all this suggestive programming that is put before us through the mainstream media. I can't, for the life of me, figure out why anybody even listens to the mainstream media anymore. But these are things that were tools. These are things that were meant to catalyze us and ignite our memories and ignite our level of, I ain't taking this shit no more, I've had enough. And looking around and saying, hey, what can we do now? What can I do with all this information? Should I go and march and protest and boycott and write posts and tell everybody, what my opinions are, and tell everybody where all the fuckery is in the world? Or can I just look at the circles closest to me? Can I look at what the universe, me, has put before me for me to be present with and to engage? The people, the passions, the missions, the fellowships. And that's, kind of what would lead me back to, I guess, what will be the theme of this particular broadcast, which is the world is a stage. And that's not a bad thing. Not only are we finding out more about ourselves through the choice of stepping into the unknown in these realms, these universities and playgrounds, but the universe is watching every single thing that we think, say, and do. And it is learning from everything that we think, say, and do. So truly, the world is a stage. We are on that stage. And I've always understood that Soulogy is a small mirror of the universe in its remixing and its rebirthing. So I look at, 20 some odd shows that people have originated that are fresh, brave, new, bold ideas, things where they say we're going to produce this, and in not in a bad way, but and I don't care what people think. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to be me. And I'm going to find people who want to be themselves. And I'm going to open up 360 degrees to life and to the mirrors of myself that are the collaborators that we have. And that's really the spirit of Soulogy, I received a email from a sister a couple days ago, and I don't have any problem with this email. I just want to utilize this as a point. That the things that expand us aren't always the things that make us feel the best. The things that expand us often come in the way of triggers and in the way of projection and drama. But this sister, who I've known for 2-3 years, she blasted me out of the water. She told me I was an egomaniac. She told me I was, full of myself and trying to make Soulogy bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, that's not the case. And I'm not bringing it up for that. I'm bringing it up because I've been someone who's projected before. I've been somebody who has externalized things before, and I'm sure I might do it again. What I'm trying to point out is that we live in a transparent universe, and everything that we have thought, said, and done will be seen by everyone. There was a part of me that said, the next time I get something like this, I'm going to post it up and be transparent and share it. But I know I don't have to. And so I just want to say that I welcome any and all communications, because it will then create a dialogue of what Soulogy is really about and what it's trying to do. Soulogy is a consciousness all in and of itself. It's just another form of the third energy. It's another form of the Holy Spirit that has no apparent physical qualities to it, no physical attributes, but it does, because it has me and it has you. It has 18 new shows, and it has about another 20 or 25 that'll be coming on over the next few weeks, and many other creations. So, receiving an email from a sister that I've known 2 or 3 years, and I have to respect her perspective and her perception, and understand that that's something that was meant for me, and to take it in fully and respectfully, and not to block it away, because we're in a state where as we've all discovered, for instance, in terms of boundaries, many of us had to establish boundaries so that we could find out who the hell we were. But the time has come for those boundaries and those walls to come down, because that's inevitable. There is nothing out there that is not us. And I know it sounds a little cliche, but the universal energy is not going to give us a choice in understanding this and applying this and being this in our lives. There is love or there's nothing. And this love that I'm referring to and that we're all familiarizing or refamiliarizing ourselves with is something that is really the only absolute there is. And that is that we are eternal. We never die. We are pure souls, and we have chosen to come here on this earth in a very dense physical environment to attempt and potentialize the soul to the highest degree by transforming from this very thick density into the multidimensionality and the light body energies that we are. So I just went off on a tangent. I'm sorry about that. But before I got on today, I really didn't feel so well, and but I just knew something was going on, and my heart was exploding or really kind of expanding. I started getting this feeling in my throat like I was going to vomit. And I feel like that these are the times when we're supposed to interact with each other and supposed to talk to each other and just give it our best shot. I don't have any great wisdom to teach anybody. All I can offer is a reflection of your soul through the mirror that I am to you, and vice versa. How can we see ourselves for what we really are, who we really are, what we're a part of, if we're not going to have these face-to-face discussions with each other? I think a part of, excuse me, there's my throat chakra expanding. I think that as Soulogy is a small mirror of the universe, expanding rapidly like we all are, part of what it's portraying and reflecting is the soul. And it's doing it through these programs. It's doing it through these programs like Metaphysical Meltdown with Mary Beckman tonight, or Metaphysical Music and Conversation with Jill Woodworth and Gabrielle, or through whatever the other one was that I just can't remember. The From Darkness to Light with Adam Miller, which is going to be in 29 minutes, or Seamless with Glennis Rowe. I mean, people, there's alternatives out there. There's alternatives to YouTube, and there's alternatives to Facebook. I'm not advocating or trying to persuade or dissuade anyone. I'm just trying to put some more information on the table here. Very soon we're going to have an app, and that app you'll be able to push the Soulogy logo, and you'll be able to watch an endless a reel of excerpts, free to the public. You don't even have to subscribe. If you want to pay $12.12 a month, or invest or engage $12.12 a month, then you can subscribe and have access to the full-length videos and all that. But we are going to have an alternative to people to be able to watch something different that's uncensored and that's untainted by the psyops, fuckery, and bullshit that's all over Facebook and YouTube, and you know it is. It's so funny because we've all done it. I've done it too, and I still see people doing it. Oh my God, Facebook let me out of jail, I'm free. Or I got censored, I wonder why. Fuck that shit. We've learned that what we give our attention to is going to continue to be there. And, we've all got this conditioning of this Stockholm Syndrome thing where something's taken away from us and then a little bit of it's given back, and we think that we've made some great strides for humanity and our liberation and sovereignty when we haven't. It's an all or nothing proposition, and it's not in the destination. It's in the journey. And Soulogy Network is the journey. It's never going to be heaven. in the sense of, oh, we made it, now all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. No, it's in the process of it. It's in each episode of each show that people are producing. It's in each person who gets the nerves and who doesn't feel 100% to go on live and do what they're going to do, but they do it anyway. It's making music spontaneously with friends like Ty Hudnall and Laura from Australia, Laura Mitchell, or Angie Willow Love. It's listening to Under the Willow Tree and listening to Angie's guest this past week, who educated me about the Grimm brothers, the ones that wrote all the fairy tales, and she educated us on why they did it. They understood that the oral tradition and the oral histories and the stories were going away, so they gathered all the grandmothers and aunties they could, and they asked them to tell them all the stories. And those are the fairy tales that we all grew up with and that so much of the world has for the last few centuries. You know, it's stepping into the unknown with Adam Miller here in 26 minutes. And, you know, well, you know, why would you have a theme of a show called Angels and Addicts? Because they're one and the same thing. You know, to be open to other things. You know, people can say whatever they want about ascension, and they can say whatever they want about enlightenment and expansion and awakening. And there's very few things that we can point to that we can say, you know what, that's an absolute truth. And I think one of those things is to be open. To be open to, you know, we all want to be open to the light. We all want to be open to the angels and the angelic and the archangelic and the divine essences, you know, the golden white pure light. But this journey has taught us anything. It's taught us to be open to the darkness. And then we find out that the darkness isn't any more, you know, it's harmless. It's just darkness. And how do you think that, if you look at it from, let's just say, the source perspective or the God's perspective or our soul's perspective, what happens when we go into a realm? And what happens when we came into this realm in particular? We stepped into the unknown. We stepped into darkness. That's what darkness is. Darkness is the unknown. And we stepped into the darkness to find more of ourselves and to give ourselves and the universe a more expansive akashic, a more expansive field of consciousness. So, you know, darkness, what is that? It's us, just as much as the light is. In fact, it's one and the same thing. It's a good time to really, more than ever, to spend time with ourselves, be in silence, write poetry, sing songs, dance, cook food, eat good food. You know, do things that make your body kind of shine, make you feel like yourself. It's a good time to really invest in ourselves, as opposed to projecting on other people, blaming other people, making excuses, building narratives that support and substantiate and rationalize our existence that isn't even real, because it's based on identities that were obtained and given to us from our souls here in this experience, in this realm, to get back to the same point. But there's a big difference in this time and space. It's a time and space that's been prophesized by many, many oral traditions and sacred texts. And it's not the doom and the gloom and the apocalypse and the Armageddon and all that bullshit. That was all just like revised history and revised prophecy. what's been prophesied and what we all know in our souls that's upon us is what happens when we get to a level of awareness and love and power and we're still in our bodies. What happens then? Well, you know what happens? We merge heaven with earth, so to speak. We anchor the fact, the absolute, that it's all one and the same. And in the process of it, we come together with our tribe. We build community. We build connections and relations. We come up with new dances, new poems, new songs, new creations. This is where we're at. So when this world tries to come through the sphere of your consciousness, of my consciousness, with a psyops or a false flag or a earthquake or a volcano or whatever the hell it is, or a political slant or a justice or an injustice or anything. We're like the eye of the hurricane. That's what we're like. We're like the eye of the hurricane. Because the place that we sit individually and together is still. It's still. It's still like like a pond. It has no ripples, like glass. And we can watch everything flying around on outside of that sphere. And we can jump out there anytime we want to. That's what we do. That's what we did coming here. And then we eventually find out that all that crazy shit out there, like Dorothy in Wizard of Oz, when the cows flying by in the barn, it's all actually the same place. And we pop back into the eye of the hurricane now and then to get our stability and to ground and to anchor and to reassess and reaffirm. And then we move back out into the field for the experiences of life. The only thing we have is now. Nobody can prove to each other that we're eternal souls. Nobody can prove that we live forever. For all we know, we could be in a petri dish in a 7th grader's biology lab on another planet. And we're programmed to hear all these things and whatever. Nobody can prove where we go from here. At least not by the human standards. But what we can prove is that we're both human beings. There's some type of higher power that's within us, that's guided us, that's brought us together. And we can also guarantee each other that we've been through pain and suffering and the human experience. But the most important thing is that we're here now, that we're alive. That's the mission and the prize. We're here now. If we don't get it here, as Joseph Campbell says, and I repeat many times, eternity is here and now. If we don't get it here, we'll never get it. So, we're all small, in a way, mirrors of the universe. And we all contain the abilities of the universe. And what is that? Always adding frequencies to an ever-expanding vibration. It's what we're trying to do at Soulogy. We're not trying to make money. It is a 369 5D commerce template that was given by the Arcturians in 2018. And what does that mean? It means that 1/3 of every dollar that comes into Soulogy Network, once we get to 3,000 subscribers, will go to the content creators on a percentage of their viewership. So if there's, $100,000 in, in the allocation for the content creators, 1/3 of everything that comes in, and somebody does 8% of the engagement for the month, they'll get a check for $8,000 for the month. This is called gifting. So let me just let the IRS know, and any other government fuckery apparatus of the Matrix, we love you very much. Thank you for your role, but we will not be participating in any of the previous ruleless rules, lawless laws, and regulations from the old paradigm. This is the new earth. We're walking on the new earth. We're establishing the new earth. We're establishing equal energy exchanges. We're establishing a place and a state of 100% compassion without any judgment. We're full acceptance of any and all things. But we recognize the universal laws, and that is that everyone stays in their own lane and in their own lane, and we don't encroach upon each other without permission. I would invite you to soulogynetwork.com. You can look around on the site. If you're not subscribed, you can see everything that's in it. You can't engage everything. Very soon, when you go to soulogynetwork.com, you'll see the first place that you land is called Public Page. And there's a video logo at the top of it, and that's going to be replaced by a continuous stream of unlimited excerpts from all of our original programming. And in time, there'll be more and more stuff added, and I've talked about it before, and I won't talk about it today. I would also invite you to the Soulogy Fest 2023 in Houston, Texas, December 8th, 9th, and 10th. It's going to be a hell of an anchoring and a welcoming into 2024, which is going to be an even more spectacular year than all these years before it have been. Everybody's a star at Soulogy Fest. You can get more information at soulogyfest.com, but everybody's a star. The people that actually make the exchange and purchase a ticket, and by the way, every ticket, with a ticket, you get a 12-month membership to soulogynetwork.com. The tickets are $333 if you're early bird tickets, or $333 if you're a month-to-month member. And you get, for $333, you get the ticket to the festival, and you get a year subscription. For $369, if you're not a member, you get a 6-month subscription and a ticket to the Soulogy Fest. But the cheapest way to do it is go buy an annual subscription for $144, and then you qualify for the $199 early bird ticket. That's $343, which is cheaper than the $369. But yeah, the people that come are the performers, they're the presenters, they're the workshop leaders, and we should be there that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for sure, December 8th, 9th, and 10th. But we're also going to be there the previous weekend, and I think with 30 acres there and people coming in their RVs and campers, we'll have a little community, a little village, probably from the previous weekend, like December the 1st. So it looks like it's going to be a few days, because we do have access to it 30 days in advance, and we will be fixing the place up. And if anybody's in the Houston area on the weekends in November, come on over to the Soulogy Fest location and help us decorate and make the place our own. So we've got a show in 10 minutes or so with Adam Miller, his new show on the Soulogy network.com, and that is called From Darkness to Light. It is going to be a look into an exploration of spiritual artists and addicts. And Adam, for those of you who've seen him, he's been on Soulogy shows a couple of times. He's a very deep person. He's very real, and he is very brave. And he comes with as human as present as his soul. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. I believe he carries so many of the attributes that have been suppressed of the divine masculine. And then later today, we've got some other shows. Like I said, we've got metaphysical music and conversation, and also metaphysical meltdown. From Darkness to Light, which is in 13 minutes, and Metaphysical Meltdown, which is tonight, they're both premieres, so they'll both be on our social media, and then also uploaded to the Soulogy Network. I just want to thank everybody. Thank you for listening, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you over the years for your love and support and contributions. We're just trying to make the world a better place, and we invite everybody, and we're working hard to create something that the world's never seen. We have a lot of help from, you might say, our non-physical aspects, and from our souls that are embodied into our human body. But don't make any mistake. It's the human being aspect that's in all of us that's creating things such as Soulogy Network, Soulogy Fest, and all the things that we are creating and will be creating together. The human being aspect is on point, and it's the final piece for full alignment. So I wish you all the best. I hope to see you at SoulogyNetwork.com, and you'll see us popping on with a couple of premieres today. And if you have any questions or any concerns or anything like that, or you want to write me if you want to write me a nice note like my sister did, and God bless you, sister, or anything, you can write me at SoulogyNetwork.com, or SoulogyNetwork@gmail.com, or Soulogy1Studios@gmail.com, either one.